If you're a fan of hard science fiction, you know that amazing feeling when a story doesn't just bend the rules of physics, but completely rewrites them from the ground up. Well, today, we're diving into a novel that does exactly that, The Nanite Smuggler. Trust me, this is way more than just another space adventure. It's a deep dive into the source code of reality itself.
So, the whole story really boils down to this one huge question. What if you had the power to literally hack the fundamental laws of the universe, all to save the people you love? I mean, that's not just a cool thought experiment, it's the moral and scientific tightrope our protagonist is walking on from page 1.
So on one side, you've got Tyree Watson. She's this brilliant scientist who looks at death not as a tragedy, but as a solvable engineering problem. And on the other side, there's Manny, a bump fat agent. His whole job is to protect the galaxy from what he sees as reckless, primitive humans. He's terrified they're going to unleash a gray goo nanite apocalypse. It's that classic sci-fi conflict, right? Unstoppable ambition versus immovable caution.
But wait, it's not that simple. It's never that simple. We also have the Fari, these super mysterious artificial life forms with basically godlike tech and a love for, a little cosmic mischief. And then there's Arnirtia, a positronic robot who's just observing everything, and you get the sense they understand the game on a much, much deeper level. All these different factions and their constantly shifting alliances, that's what really makes the plot so explosive.
Okay, so let's get into it. The story kicks off with what is basically a high-tech heist. Tyree uses a family vacation to the alien planet Thray as the perfect cover for her real mission, to get her hands on some forbidden alien nanotechnology.
And what is she after? These things called femtobots. The best way to think of them is like programmable matter. Yeah, they can do simple stuff like change your hair color on a whim, but their real power? They can scan a person down to the molecular level and create a perfect, functional copy, a replicoid. The potential is absolutely staggering, but man, the potential for disaster is even bigger.
And look, Tyree knows this is risky stuff. Both her father and her mentor, who is actually Manny, have warned her again and again about the dangers of this kind of alien tech. But for Tyree, the goal, giving her parents immortality, it outweighs any possible consequence. So she decides to ignore them and go ahead with her secret plan.
And this next moment, it tells you everything you need to know about Tyree's character. Her robotic guide, Sistalina, actually catches her sneaking out. But does she panic? Nope. She adapts. She recruits the robot on the spot, turning what should have been a huge liability into a crucial asset for her mission. Just brilliant.
So in this secluded meadow, she finally meets the alien Kosti, who hands over a silver case just packed with programmable femtobots. This is it. This is the exact moment everything changes. Tahiri isn't just a researcher anymore. She is now officially the Nanite Smuggler.
And if you want to understand just how pragmatic and maybe ruthless she is, get this. At a critical moment, her close collaborator Marta appears to die in this tragic accident. But the whole thing is a trick. The Marta that died was a replicoid, a tactical sacrifice that Tyree planned just to mislead Manny and make sure her mission succeeded. It's a move that's both genius and, honestly, kind of chilling.
But okay, if you think femtobots are the peak of the technology in this story, you are in for a serious shock. Because the story then introduces something way, way more powerful: Zeptites.
Let me put it this way. Zeptites are to femtobots what a modern supercomputer is to an abacus. It's not even a fair comparison. This is advanced sidronic matter that can create replicoids that aren't just perfect copies, they're also indestructible and immortal. Oh, and as if that's not enough, they also allow for instantaneous teleportation. At this point, the known laws of physics are more like friendly suggestions.
Now, the tech that makes all of this possible is something called the Sedron time stream. And it's not just a cool way to travel, it's a fundamental layer of reality itself. It allows for faster-than-light travel, it stores an almost infinite amount of data, we're talking the molecular blueprints of every individual, and for a few special people like Tahiri, it can even provide glimpses of the future.
And this is where the novel becomes pure gold for hard sci-fi fans. It gives us this beautifully constructed time loop. So check this out. To program the Zeptites, Tifri needs access codes she doesn't have. So in the future, her sister, Terion, who hasn't even been born yet, sends the codes back in time. Tifri gets them, which allows her to succeed, which in turn guarantees that Terion will exist in the future to send the codes in the first place. It's a perfect, mind-bending, self-sustaining temporal paradox. I love it.
So now, with this level of technology and this crazy understanding of time, Tyree's ambition, it evolves. She's not just trying to stop her parents from aging anymore. No, she's ready to become a reality engineer to protect them from destiny itself.
You'd think being immortal would be enough, right? Nope. 200 years into the future, her parents are living happily on the planet Tartron, which happens to be directly in the path of a supernova. Immortality doesn't mean much when your entire world is about to get vaporized.
So how does she solve a problem of cosmic proportions? Not with some giant spaceship, but with a single packet of information. Sent from the future, this tiny data packet contains just a subtle suggestion that alters one of Tai-Huri's decisions way back in her past. This one tiny change cascades through time, creating a whole new, safer reality for her family. She doesn't just travel through time, she edits it.
And the scale of what she does in this new reality it's breathtaking. To fast-track humanity's journey to the stars, she creates a team of 50 replicoid copies of herself. Inside a simulated lab, these 50 Tyrus work together in perfect sync to design and build a full-blown interstellar spaceship. Incredible!
So yeah, after hearing all that, I think it's pretty clear this is not your average space opera. This is a story that was built from the ground up for people who love those big, challenging, deep science fiction ideas.
I mean, look at this list. The novel is an absolute treasure trove of amazing concepts. We're talking temporal engineering, programmable matter, hacked realities and simulation theory, interstellar group minds, and a really deep look at post-human evolution. If this list gets your pulse racing even a little bit, then The Nanite Smuggler seriously needs to be on your bookshelf.
And in the end, the whole story really leaves you with this one profound, lingering question. Tyree Watson bent the entire universe to her will, all to save her family. So I'll just leave you with this. If you had that kind of power, what lines would you be willing to cross?